Hi everyone, this is Naomi from Paper Bag Princess Paper Crafting with my first ever tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to trim your unmounted rubber stamps, and I'm also going to give you some tips on using them, cleaning them, and storing them. So first of all, you're going to need a pair of scissors. So I know Stampin' Up! Makes a pair of craft and rubber scissors which run for about $20. I personally use these Tim Holtz by Tonic scissors. They're non-stick and micro-serrated. They can be bought at Michael's for between $7.50 and $9 if you use a coupon or if you get them on sale. So they're very affordable. And I'm going to be trimming this Sitting Cute set from the Greeting Farm. This just came out on March 1st. It's really cute. And I already cut this girl out. Actually, I already made a cut into her. Now you want to make sure your scissors are straight up and down, like so. You don't want to angle them, because if you angle them, you're going to end up with less foam than rubber, or vice versa. And you want an equal amount, because that way when you slap it onto a block, it's going to have even pressure all over the image, and you're not only less likely to have gaps where the image is missing, but you're also less likely to get too much pressure in certain areas, which can distort or blur the lines. So straight, short snips, like so. Let's see. Now we're also trying to get as close to the image as possible without actually cutting into it or damaging it. And this is because if you don't cut enough away, you run the risk of getting ink on the edges here, and you can get unwanted marks on your paper. I mean, you can remedy that by using a baby wipe and wiping the edges off if there's ink on them, but you don't really need to if you cut close enough. Let's see, where am I going to cut next? Okay, so here's what she looks like. And this is definitely not my prettiest trimming job ever, and they won't look quite as pretty as if you were to curve them, but there is just as much foam as rubber, so that's very important. I'll give you an example of, here's a stamp that I bought secondhand, and it was not trimmed properly. So if you look at this, they tried to curve around the corners, and if you look from behind, you can really see that it is angled a lot, and you can actually really see the rubber from behind. Now this is not what you want. So even though this may look a little bit uglier, it's definitely more functional. So there you go. For sentiment, you're going to want to keep as straight of a line as possible, and this way when you go to stamp, because you can't see where you're stamping, you're a lot more likely to line it up properly. There we are. And this is a little bit messy. There you are, so that should be fairly easy to keep lined up from behind because that top line is so straight. Okay, so now that we're done trimming, all you have to do is peel off this backing and slap this onto an acrylic block. And I have a set of acrylic blocks, and I really like having a lot of different sizes because I find that the best thing to do is to use the smallest block that will comfortably fit the stamp. And I think you get better balance that way. If you were to use a sentiment stamp on a bigger block, it's going to be off balance, and you're going to be more likely to tip it or rock it, and that could lead to smudges or distortion. So instead of using a big block like this, it would be better to use a small one like so, because this fits just perfectly. Okay. Now, normally, I like to just twist, twist, tap, tap. Twist, twist, tap, tap. And I like to pick up the ink from the ink pad this way. So there we have it. Nice clear image. And I do have a close to my heart Versamat underneath here. And one side is a self-healing cutting mat, and the side that I usually use is the stamping side, and it's a little bit foamy here. So it gives you a nice crisp impression. It helps you get a nice crisp impression. Now for these bigger images, I actually like to take the ink to the stamp. And I still do the twist, twist, tap, tap thing. And this way you can see that the entire image is inked, and it's just a lot easier for me, I think, to get coverage. So that's what I do. So you just want to go straight down, apply pressure everywhere, firm pressure, and then straight back up. And there we have a nice impression. Now for cleaning my stamps, you could use a baby wipe like so. That's what a lot of people do. You want to make sure it's alcohol-free because alcohol will dry out your stamps. I use Kirkland baby wipes. They're not only affordable, but there's no alcohol in them, and they're biodegradable, so it makes me feel a little bit better about that. You could also use, with dye ink, it's water-based, so you could just use warm water and a cloth, or stamp cleaner and a cloth. I like to use this Ultra Clean. Now, I got this from Paper Tray Ink, but it's not their exclusive brand. You can buy it from other stores as well. I think Ellen Hudson also carries it. And I have a stamp scrubber. And the reason why I really like the stamp cleaner is it seems to get them really clean, and I use a lot of clear stamps, and I'm kind of OCD. I try my best not to stain them. Some people don't care about stains. I avoid it as much as possible. So you just do a little spray. You don't have to use a lot. On the one side, you just rub the stamp on there. And you will dry it on the other side. And this kind of gets into all the little spots. I find it works really, really well. Okay, so now for storage. A lot of people like to use these DVD or CD cases. I like these for clear stamps because they're thin enough that you can get them on each side of the case and you can get a lot more in here. Personally, I like the DVD cases because you can fit a full 4x6 set on each side, so this would hold 2 4x6 stamp sets. This particular case I actually have some dies stored in, so it works great for that as well. And then I actually store my DVD cases in DVD storage boxes that I got from IKEA, and in Canada I believe they're about $8 for 2 boxes, so about $4 each, which is pretty good. Now, another option is to just keep them in their original packaging, and then you can put them in a storage basket. So these are a lot of my greeting farm stamps. I used to keep them all in here in their original packaging. I ran out of room. This basket is about 6.5 inches wide by I think about 9 inches long. And I got these at Michael's. You can get them on sale, and with coupons you can get them somewhere between $2.80 and $3.50 each. Regular price is $7. And they're kind of just the perfect size. I have a different basket for each stamp company, and I also use these for 6x6 paper pads. Because they're 6.5 inches wide, they fit just perfectly. Okay, so because my greeting farm collection outgrew that basket and I'm starting to run out of room to store my baskets, I decided to start putting all of my already trimmed stamps into a binder. So eventually I hope to have them all in here. Now, I just got this binder at Costco. It's a cheap binder. It would probably be better to have a zip-up binder, but I just went the cheapest route. And I have Stamp and Store panels in here, and the stamps stick to them just like they would stick to an acrylic block. I got the tabbed storage panels, and this way I know which collection is where, so I can just flip. Okay, here's my wild sprouts. Here's Anya and Ian, Miss Anya, my cheekies. And I have each individual stamp labeled as well. Not only can I tell which ones are missing, I can also then give proper credit when I'm making a blog post because I know the name. Alright, that's it for today. I hope you learned something, and I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Happy stamping!